If you guys look at this Los Angeles Lakers roster right now, you say to yourself, hey, you know what? We're cooking with grease and we're a championship team. I have a boat to sell you in Mexico. Newsflash, I don't have a boat to sell you in Mexico. Before I start this video, let me start off by saying I didn't want to make this video. Before the comments come in and say you're a hater, I'm a Celtics fan, a Boston Celtics fan. I have nothing to hate on the Los Angeles Lakers about. I love LeBron James. LeBron James is unequivocally my GOAT. I've been very outspoken about that. So what I'm about to say, it comes from a place of love. The Los Angeles Lakers, I don't mean the fan base. I mean the front office. Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka, you guys have failed LeBron James. Not only did you fail LeBron James, you failed Anthony Davis. Before I cook and I tell you why you failed, let's go back to a simple demand LeBron James and Anthony Davis had at the beginning of the offseason. They wanted to see the roster improve. They wanted to potentially grab another star that could help take them over the top. The speculation grew rampant. People were wondering, who might the Lakers add? Could it be a Klay Thompson? They were targeting a guy like Jonas Valanciunas, who I wouldn't really say is a superstar, but he's a guy, pretty good guy. And what did they end up with throughout this free agency process thus far? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You have D'Angelo Russell, who opted back into his option. You drafted Dalton Knecht. You drafted Bronny James. And I'm starting to believe the drafting of Bronny James was the last-ditch attempt effort to keep LeBron James, because you guys know what I know and what most of Lakers faithful nation knows. And this is me talking to Rob Pelinka and Jeannie Buss here. You guys knew that LeBron was pissed. You knew Anthony Davis was pissed. So you said, how can we keep LeBron James? How can we keep our superstar in the fold for this season and for future seasons to come potentially? Let's draft his son. Let's use our draft pick, albeit 55, to draft his son. To me, while I like the Dalton Knecht pick, and I think that Dalton Knecht's going to wind up being a very good player, I don't know if he's a very good player year 1, year 2, even year 3, even though he is an older player. When we talk about adding stars, potential people that could help make this a championship-esque team, I'm thinking of guys like DeMar DeRozan. I'm thinking about guys like Klay Thompson, who apparently they tried to even get on the phone, who LeBron James even had to quote-unquote call. Why does LeBron have to do Rob Pelinka's work for him? Or Jeannie Buss's work for her? But they couldn't even get Klay Thompson to the table. When I look at it, and I look at the potential players the Lakers could have added, and might I add, they can still add. I'm dumbfounded the fact that they haven't pulled out all the stops to do that. The fact that the Bulls are willing to give away DeMar DeRozan. I'm not DeMar DeRozan, Zach LaVine. And there's been no attempt on the Lakers side to facilitate that trade. You need scoring, right? Zach LaVine does that for you. He's a veteran option. He's a guy that's done it at the highest level. He's a guy that I think could help this team today. But even more so, let's not talk about guys that are high price tag guys. Let's talk about guys that I think could help their team right now. We're talking about a guy in Buddy Hield, who I would have loved to see them make an attempt to go after. He's a guy that they've tried to trade for the last 2 seasons. Hasn't worked out. Buddy Hield didn't work out for them this time around. There's another guy that they tried to trade for that they like very much so. He's a part of the Denver Nuggets championship winning team. Guy in Brucey B, Bruce Brown. A guy that's a high effort guy, gives you great minutes off the bench. He's still sitting out there. You got Lauri Markkanen, who they're throwing out there as trade bait. By them, I mean the Utah Jazz. No attempt made to get that guy. So when I look at it, and I look at what the Los Angeles Lakers have done, you know what they basically said? F it, let's run it back. Let me tell you why that's a problem. The same questions, comments, concerns that were rearing its ugly head throughout the entire season. Will they trade D'Lo? Will they not trade D'Lo? We saw DeJounte Murray get traded to New Orleans Pelicans. You couldn't go out there and try to facilitate a trade for DeJounte Murray, a guy that you guys coveted, a guy that you guys liked. I don't know. But let me tell you why it's an issue. You're running it back with the same exact roster that fell short just last year. And those same questions, those same comments, those same concerns that were happening throughout the season of people saying, is D'Lo good enough to be the third star for the Los Angeles Lakers? Guys, if you're still asking that question and this guy's in his second stint with the team, he caught fire last year right before the trade deadline and kind of fell off a cliff a little bit. But you're asking yourself the same exact questions when the guy was missing in action in the playoffs. Here's a guy that opted in, and you're acting as if we're not going to be in the same predicament when the season starts and throughout the season. Is D'Lo going to be traded? Let me save you guys the hassle, Lakers faithful, Lakers nation, Lakers front office. D'Lo is not the answer. He is not going to be the guy that can help alleviate pressure off of LeBron James and Anthony Davis. At least consistency he's not going to be able to. Maybe if he's going to go up against the Hornets or the Spurs, he might go off. But if you're looking for a guy night in and night out, D'Lo's not that guy. He's proven to you time and time again, I'm not that guy. To me, it's a failed attempt because now you have to ask yourself, LeBron James re-upped with the Los Angeles Lakers for 2 years, albeit next summer as a player option. But you have to ask yourself the question, did LeBron James just re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers to compete for a championship? Or did he re-sign with the Los Angeles Lakers to play with his son? I'll let you be the judge of that. But when I look at it, there's still some guys out there that the Los Angeles Lakers could add. I believe guys like Gary Trent, still available. Guys that the Lakers had interest in years past with. Guys like Markelle Fultz, still available. There are names, there are players that the Los Angeles Lakers could go after to see if, at the very least, right? Even if a Sadiq Bey, somebody like that you go after. But there are players the Los Angeles Lakers could add that could help them with their bench. And you might look at it and you say, oh, we want to keep on to this guy. What, Gabe Vincent? I would trade Gabe Vincent. I would be willing to trade a Christian Wood. I would be willing to trade a D'Angelo Russell. The only three players on the Los Angeles Lakers that I would view as pieces that I would want to keep for this year to help with the championship aspirations, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Anthony Davis. Obviously, the rookies, we're not counting them. They're here. But when I look at it, the Los Angeles Lakers are playing the same game they played last year. They understand this roster is not good enough to compete. Not good enough to win a championship as it currently stands, all because you have an aging star in LeBron James. You have Anthony Davis, who has dealt with his fair share of injuries, but it's also not fair to him in his position to rely on him so much to be the sole scorer, the primary defender, and so much for the Los Angeles Lakers when he's proven that, at least consistently speaking, he can't do that. He's probably good for a couple of game stretches, but can't do it consistently. Body starts to break down a little bit too much on him. What I'm talking about here is I'm talking about getting a guy in here that could be a bona fide stud for the Los Angeles Lakers, meaning you know what you're getting night in and night out. And I understand basketball is a crapshoot. You don't know who that guy might be, but at least give the Lakers faithful some semblance of hope. Somebody to believe in. Somebody to believe that, hey, you know what? If LeBron does go out, because LeBron is, 39 years old? If LeBron James needs a breather, if Anthony Davis can't play a game, this guy could step up to the plate. You ideally want to add a guy that you say, we feel so confident about this guy. There's no concerns if a LeBron James is out for a game or if an Anthony Davis is out for a game. We believe the ship will still be steady. I believe with the addition of a Zach LaVine, I know he's had his ankle injuries, but I think a large part of that is Zach LaVine didn't want to play for the Bulls either. I'd like to see them go out there and add and try to acquire a Zach LaVine, try to acquire a Lauri Markkanen. I prefer Zach LaVine over a Lauri Markkanen if you ask me. But I think that there are guys out there right now for the Los Angeles Lakers that they can absolutely upgrade this roster. Right now, I see a lot of names on the team. I see a lot of names. I don't see a lot of difference makers. And that's the one issue. And I'm sorry. You might look at it and you might be like, Malik, you're being unfair to the Lakers cap situation. Listen, if they wanted to make it work, they could make it work. We've seen it happen in the NBA. I'm not saying go out there and get the biggest superstar. It's not what I'm saying. I'm not even saying, you missed out on Klay Thompson, although it did suck the fact that you didn't even get him to the table with you to even hear what you might have to say or what you might have to offer. What I am saying is you should want better for your team. This isn't better for your team. This isn't better for LeBron. This isn't better for Anthony Davis. This leaves a lot to be desired. I don't know. Lakers faithful, let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Am I cooking or am I talking ridiculous? I don't know. If you guys look at this Los Angeles Lakers roster right now, you say to yourself, hey, you know what? We're cooking with grease and we're a championship team. I have a boat to sell you in Mexico. Newsflash. I don't have a boat to sell you in Mexico. So I believe what I'm saying. I believe the Los Angeles are a competitive team, but not competitive enough to compete for a championship.